Top 10 watches to buy before prices explode, 2025. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the watch you bought for $7,000 is now selling for $20,000, and everyone else is desperately trying to find one. Sounds far-fetched? Not anymore. In the volatile world of luxury timepieces, opportunity knocks quietly and vanishes fast. The market is shifting. Steel sports models, independent micro brands, and discontinued legends are quietly being swept up by collectors and investors who see the writing on the wall. Whether you're an enthusiast, an investor, or just someone who refuses to buy high and sell low, this list is your early warning radar. These aren't just watches. They're time machines of value ready to explode in price in the next 12 to 24 months. And we're not talking hype. Each piece on this list has a strategic catalyst behind it. Scarcity, heritage, under-the-radar collaborations, or market mispricing that's just waiting to correct itself. So get ready to rewind the clock and fast-forward your fortune. Let's dive into the top 10 watches to buy before prices explode in 2025. And don't forget to press and hold that like button, leave a comment, and hit subscribe before we begin. Ranked 10th, Zenith Chronomaster Original Reverse Panda. Zenith doesn't scream for attention. It doesn't need to. It already made history in 1969 with the El Primero, the world's first integrated automatic chronograph. But in 2025, the watch you should be looking at is the Chronomaster Original Reverse Panda. At first glance, it looks simple, clean, familiar. A 38mm case that wears like a dream. A high-contrast black and white dial that recalls motorsport legends. But what makes this model exceptional isn't just its retro styling, it's the heart beating inside. This piece houses the El Primero 3600, a movement that beats at a staggering 5 Hz and tracks time down to 1/10 of a second. It's not just accurate, it's aggressive, and yet it's all wrapped in the form factor of a vintage watch that could pass for something straight from the 60s. Collectors are starting to catch on. While Rolex Daytonas and Omega Speedmasters are deep into hype territory, Zenith's offerings are still absurdly undervalued. But that's changing. Auction houses are spotlighting vintage Zeniths, social media influencers are taking notice, and the moment this becomes the next must-have chrono, prices will not stay where they are. Right now, you can still get this for around $8,000 to $9,000, but don't expect that number to last. The Chronomaster Original Reverse Panda is not just a beautiful chronograph. It's a silent predator in a market full of noise. Ranked 9th, Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra 38mm green dial. Subtlety is an art, and in 2025, few watches master it quite like the Omega Seamaster. Aqua Terra 38mm in green. This isn't a watch that begs for attention, but give it 5 seconds on your wrist, and it earns it forever. The dial, with its sun-brushed finish and teak pattern, evokes the wooden decks of luxury sailboats while radiating a deep, forested emerald tone that changes character with every flicker of light. It's compact yet bold, refined but resilient, and that's exactly why collectors are circling. Powered by the coaxial master chronometer caliber 8800, this piece isn't just beautiful, it's engineered to the highest standards of anti-magnetism, precision, and durability, especially this green dial reference. Limited in production, versatile in wear, and stunning in presence. High-end retailers are reporting low availability, and whispers of Omega trimming the Aqua Terra line to focus on higher-margin pieces are getting louder. Right now, you can still find this reference for under $7,000. But with the rising demand for smaller, elegant sports watches, and with green dials becoming the next blue, this piece is poised to spike. It's the kind of watch that flies under radar until one day it's just gone. The Omega Aqua Terra green dial is the sleeper hit of the Seamaster family. And in 2025, sleep is a luxury you can't afford. Ranked 8th, Grand Seiko White Birch SLGH005. In the stillness of a snow-covered forest, there's a kind of quiet majesty that no city skyline can match. That's the feeling you get when you gaze into the dial of the Grand Seiko SLGH005, better known as the White Birch. But make no mistake, this isn't just about aesthetics. This is about a brand redefining what it means to be a true contender in the luxury space. And in 2025, the white birch is finally getting the global attention it deserves. Let's start with that dial. Inspired by the white birch trees of northern Japan, the textured surface is unlike anything else in the market. It's not painted, it's sculpted. A landscape in silver, it catches light with an ethereal shimmer, evoking frost on bark, snow on stone, a meditation in metal. But inside beats something even more impressive, the 9SA5 high beat movement. It's not just technically advanced, it's revolutionary. With a dual impulse escapement, free-sprung balance, and 80-hour power reserve, this caliber puts Grand Seiko in direct competition with the likes of Rolex and even Patek. And it does it while maintaining a price tag below $10,000. Why is now the time to buy? Because the rest of the world is finally catching up. American and European collectors, once dismissive of Japanese luxury, are waking up to the value, beauty, and technical firepower that Grand Seiko offers. Supply is limited, global demand is rising, and future references are already moving north of $11,000. This isn't just a watch, it's a turning point in horological history, a bold declaration that Japanese craftsmanship isn't following Swiss footsteps, it's forging its own path. The Grand Seiko White Birch is already iconic in the East. In 2025, it's crossing oceans and taking value with it. Ranked 7th, Tudor Pelagos 39. When Rolex is the fortress, Tudor is the dagger hidden beneath the cloak, quiet, sharp, and deadly precise. And in 2025, no dagger is more refined, more tactically relevant than the Tudor Pelagos 39. The Pelagos 39 is crafted entirely from grade 2 titanium, lightweight, hypoallergenic, and finished with a bead-blasted matte sheen that absorbs light rather than reflecting it. It doesn't shout, it stalks. At 39 millimeters, it wears universally well, slim enough to tuck under a cuff, yet bold enough to command respect on bare wrists. It's powered by the COSC-certified MT 5400 in-house caliber, 70 hours of power reserve, anti-magnetic silicon balance spring, and battle-tested reliability. The lume, nuclear. The bezel, unidirectional ceramic with precision clicks. And the bracelet features the T-Fit Rapid Adjustment Clasp, a feature Rolex wearers still don't get without paying thousands more. Right now, it's selling for under $5,000, but production is tight, and demand is outpacing supply in Europe and Asia. The Black Bay crowd is graduating to this. Flippers are starting to sniff around. It's only a matter of time before Tudor realizes they've underpriced their best modern tool watch. In the shadow of the Rolex Submariner, this watch thrives, not as a copy, but as a rebellion. The Tudor Pelagos 39 isn't just the best value titanium diver on the market, it's a statement of independence. And in 2025, independence is gold. Ranked 6th, IWC Pilot's Watch, Mark Reinkt. The IWC Mark Reinkt represents the modern evolution of one of aviation's most iconic watch lines. Rooted in the heritage of the original Mark 11 issued to the British Royal Air Force in 1948, the Mark 20 maintains the core design principles: legibility, durability, and precision. Housed in a 40mm stainless steel case, it features a clean matte black dial with large Arabic numerals and a date window at 3 o'clock. The layout is classic Pilot, simple, functional, and immediately readable. It's powered by IWC's in-house caliber 3-2111, offering a substantial 120-hour power reserve and solid anti-magnetic protection thanks to its soft iron inner case. The watch wears comfortably on the wrist, whether on a stainless steel bracelet or leather strap, and its thin profile makes it suitable for daily wear. Unlike more aggressive tool watches, the Mark 20 is versatile, discreet enough for the office but capable enough for the field. With a retail price under $6,000, it offers significant value for an in-house movement and brand legacy. As IWC expands its portfolio and focuses on limited editions, this core model remains relatively underappreciated. Collectors looking for timeless design and proven engineering would do well to acquire the Mark 20 before market attention shifts. In a crowded field of overstyled pilot watches, the Mark 20 stands out by staying true to its roots. It is, quite simply, a modern classic in the making. Ranked 5th, Rolex Explorer I 36mm. When Rolex reintroduced the Explorer in its original 36mm format, it made a quiet but bold statement. Sometimes evolution means going back to where it all began. It retains the traditional proportions of the original Explorer models while incorporating modern upgrades. The 36mm oyster steel case is compact, versatile, and perfectly balanced on the wrist. The iconic black dial with 369 markers and Mercedes hands remains untouched, clean, legible, and unmistakably Rolex. Inside, the watch houses the Caliber 3230, a COSC certified automatic movement with a 70-hour power reserve and enhanced precision, shock resistance, and anti-magnetism. It's a workhorse designed to endure, yet finely tuned for everyday luxury. What makes this reference stand out in 2025 is its growing appeal among collectors seeking simplicity, heritage, and wearable proportions. As the industry shifts towards smaller, more classic case sizes, the 36mm Explorer is ahead of the curve. It's priced below many hyped sports models, yet carries more legacy than most. The Explorer 36mm isn't flashy, it's foundational. And in a market driven by bold statements, this watch proves that true confidence is quiet. For those who value understated excellence and proven performance, the Explorer I is a timeless investment, and its price trajectory is just beginning to climb. Ranked 4th, Baltic MR01. In a world dominated by high-priced Swiss giants, the Baltic MR01 proves that greatness can still come from independent voices. And in 2025, this compact, classically styled dress watch from a young French microbrand is rapidly evolving from a niche favorite to a collector's essential. Its 36mm case feels like a vintage piece from the 1950s, while the dial layout, small seconds at 7 o'clock, Breguet numerals, and guilloche textures, offers elegance well beyond its price point. Inside beats a Chinese-made Hangzhou micro-rotor movement, a choice that sparked debate but ultimately delivers slimness and charm rarely found below $1,000. What sets the MR01 apart is how well it blends affordability with genuine character. It's not trying to be a Rolex, it's not an homage, it's its own thing, with its own story, its own design language, and its own fast-growing cult following. Limited production runs and rising resale prices have made this model increasingly hard to get. Every release sells out within minutes. Pre-owned units are trading at double retail in some markets. And as Baltic expands globally, the MR01 is poised to become the poster child for a new wave of accessible collecting. If you're building a future-facing collection, don't ignore the independence, especially not this one. The Baltic MR01 is more than just a dress watch. It's proof that the next breakout doesn't always come from Geneva. Ranked 3rd, Chopard Alpine Eagle 41mm. Combining heritage design, sustainable materials, and premium finishes, the Chopard Alpine Eagle has firmly established itself in the luxury sports watch segment. And in 2025, the lucent steel 41mm with its signature Alech blue dial is becoming a collector's favorite and a future classic. At first glance, the watch looks similar to integrated bracelet legends like the Royal Oak or the Nautilus. But dig deeper and you'll find a watch with its own identity. The case and bracelet are crafted from Chopard's proprietary lucent steel, a highly resistant, hypoallergenic alloy that is 70% recycled, with a shine unlike any other steel. The Alech blue dial, inspired by the largest glacier in the Alps, features a deep radial texture that catches the light in waves. Paired with bold Roman numerals and rhodium-plated hands, this model combines classic elegance with modern power. Inside is the in-house Chopard 001-C movement, a chronometer-certified movement with a 60-hour power reserve and visible through the sapphire caseback. Slim, precise, and beautifully decorated, this watch proves that Chopard is not just about jewelry, but also about serious watchmaking. What makes this watch so valuable today? Production is still limited. The Alpine Eagle has yet to reach saturation point, but connoisseurs, especially collectors moving away from the big names, are starting to snap them up. Prices remain reasonable, but are steadily rising. Shoppers' focus on sustainability and vertical integration adds to the brand's enduring appeal. This is more than just a gorgeous steel watch. It is Chopard's quiet declaration that they are worthy. Ranked second, Audemars Piguet Royal Oak. When Audemars Piguet announced the retirement of the 15202 ST in 2022, it marked the end of an era. But in its place came the 16202 ST, an updated jumbo Royal Oak that maintains all the charm of the original while introducing one of AP's most refined in-house movements to date. At 39 millimeters, the extra-thin case remains faithful to Gerald Genta's iconic 1972 design. The integrated bracelet is as fluid as ever, with sharp bevels, brushed surfaces, and immaculate polish. The Petite Tapisserie dial returns in Bleu Nuit, Nuage 50, a deep blue shade with subtle complexity that shifts under natural light. The new caliber 7121, however, is the real headline. Replacing the decades-old 2121 movement, it brings modern engineering to a legendary silhouette. It offers better shock resistance, more stability, and a 55-hour power reserve, all while maintaining the slim profile that defines the jumbo. In 2025, the 16202 ST is becoming increasingly difficult to acquire at retail. Demand continues to outpace supply, and secondary market prices, while temporarily stabilizing, are expected to climb again as fewer pieces enter circulation. This is not just a status symbol, it's a blueprint for 21st century luxury watchmaking. Among integrated bracelet steel watches, the Royal Oak remains unmatched in provenance, design, and desirability. And the 16202 ST is arguably the most faithful and technically advanced execution yet. It's the kind of watch that doesn't just hold value, it sets the bar. In first place, Rolex Day Date 40. There are watches that impress, there are watches that endure, and then there's the Rolex Day Date 40, the ultimate symbol of prestige, power, and quiet wealth. Nicknamed the President's Watch for a reason, the Day Date has adorned the wrists of leaders, visionaries, and cultural icons since 1956. But this version, the 40mm model in white gold with the sunray olive dial, takes that legacy and refracts it through a lens of modern refinement. The fluted bezel, crafted from solid 18-karat white gold, glints subtly against the brushed lugs and polished case flanks. The matching white gold president bracelet drapes around the wrist with a luxurious weight and silent authority. But it's the dial that sets this model apart. It's mesmerizing. It's rare. And Rolex doesn't make many of them. Inside beats the caliber 3255, one of Rolex's most accurate and efficient movements to date. Koski certified and tested in-house to even tighter tolerances, it boasts a 70-hour power reserve and next-gen materials for anti-magnetism and durability. In 2025, this watch is approaching critical mass. It is already seeing premium prices on the secondary market, especially in mint or full-set condition. This is not a hype watch. This is a long game play, a statement of identity for the collector who values quiet dominance over flash. It's number one for those who understand that value doesn't scream. It whispers with conviction. And so, are you going to watch the wave rise or are you going to ride it? Every timepiece on this list carries more than just ticking hands. It carries momentum, underpricing, and the potential for explosive gains. But only if you act before everyone else wakes up. The world of watches rewards those who move early, who recognize patterns, and who value legacy over hype. Don't wait for the auction headlines. Don't be the guy who says, I almost bought that when it was half the price. This is your moment, your window, because in the watch world, timing really is everything.